Hello and welcome to the Banter with Alex Bertsch. This week I'm joined by Mark Staples and Jaurdyn Dobler to talk about the college experience and preparing for college for high schoolers. So far that you guys have been in college, how has the experience been for you?
Well, the experience of college for me has been, generally speaking, very, very good.
And Mark, how about you?
I like college. It's a big difference definitely than what I'm used to. High school, you think you're preparing yourself for college, and of course you are. I mean, you wouldn't be able to go to college if you didn't go to high school, but it's a big difference definitely than from what I'm used to. And I think that it's definitely a learning experience. You got to learn to kind of adapt with everything and adjust to the different lifestyle. If you're versus high school, you come and go as as the day goes, whereas in college you're there 24/7. You're kind of immersed in the culture, and that's definitely something that you have to get used to.
That is, definitely. What has the campus life been like for you to live on campus and have almost a small community that you go to school with, so to speak?
For me, I moved to St. Peter, Minnesota, which is much smaller than Fargo. And I thought that was going to be harder to deal with because I wanted more of a big city. But I found out that it doesn't matter as much because the community in college is so tight-knit, especially at a private liberal arts college like Gustavus. So you're really immersed in the community, and it's really amazing how tight-knit the community at a smaller college like that is.
For my experience, it's been less tightly knit with a lot of people and more, you really latch on to people close to you. And so I've done that a lot. And being in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and going from a Fargo style or size, where you hop in your car and go everywhere. Whereas when I'm in Cambridge, it's like, oh, you hop on the subway and you go places, and that's just adapting to the lifestyle in that aspect, and actually utilizing public transport, which is very rare in Fargo. Which, as a side note, we should probably do that more often. But no, I think just actually living in a city like that and meeting people from literally all over the world has been incredible. I wouldn't trade that. It's very awesome to learn about people's lives and where they come from and different cultures.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say was most important for you in making your decision of where to go as a high school student?
Oh, as a high school student, making my decision, it's odd because before it actually started getting down to the wire where I had to make a decision, I didn't want to base my decision on location. I didn't care if it was close to home. I didn't want to. I'll just set. You can edit this out,
yeah.
Right? Okay. Okay. I didn't want to base my decision on location. I didn't care if it was close to home. But as the time actually approached to make a decision, it started to be more about which college I saw myself being happiest at. Mm-hmm. Less about, obviously you want to go to a good school, good academics. A lot of people want to go and get out of here. They want to go far away. But I think once it starts really getting down to the wire, you start to get scared. You want to be somewhere that you are actually going to enjoy, that you're going to be happy at. And so when I visited Gustavus, I will always talk about the community because that was the biggest thing that stood out to me. Is I knew I would be happy there. I just knew I fit in there because the community is so tight-knit and wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, it's ironic for me because I started out thinking that location was extremely important, what I wanted to do. And, for that, to me, it meant being home. And obviously I'm far from home now. And that's, it's interesting how priorities change. And as I started thinking, the academics were important and all that. But, and another important part of, choosing where you want to go to college that people often neglect is financial aid. Like that's a huge thing. If you're going to a school that's extremely expensive and you can't afford the tuition there, I mean, that's not a school you want to go to. I mean, like that's a lot of debt that you're going to put yourself in. Because I was looking between Harvard and Dartmouth, and Dartmouth was just obscene, tuition. And I thought, okay, that's really stupid of me to put myself in a position where I would have to pay all that back. Whereas obviously where I'm going now isn't cheap, and I'm certainly not getting a free ride, but it's a lot more manageable, and I can see it being a lot more friendly in the future to paying back and all that.
Yeah, and to add on to that, the financial aid aspect, I think a lot of people, they're so set on going to this great college right off the bat for undergrad. But the thing that people don't realize is that it's easier to get into that school financially for graduate school. So you could go to a smaller college. You could go to NDSU and be perfectly happy there for your undergrad, and then plan to go to DC or Boston or wherever you want to go to for college, because there are so many options for graduate school where you can work at a company that will pay for your graduate school, or you can, you get a lot. It's easier to go to the school of your choice for graduate school.
I have a friend that he went to U of M for his undergraduate, and then he went to Harvard Law for a graduate, so that's definitely something that's possible. I mean, if you don't get into your dream college, your first year, you can always transfer. I mean, it's a difficult process to try to transfer into a college for the next year, but I mean, for your graduate degree, if that's something you're interested in, definitely a great opportunity to go to the school that you want to.
Mm-hmm. So, as a last thought, what do you think you would give high schoolers advice of how to prepare for the college environment and the stress and rigorous testing that you're under?
I would say that the biggest thing that I didn't realize or utilize as much in high school was mere preparation in studying. So a lot of people who high school academics come easy to are just content, like not studying, doing the minimum, you know what I mean? Because that gets them the grade they want, and that's perfectly fine for high school. That'll get you into college, the good colleges. But at the same time, when you get to those good colleges, you are not prepared for the amount of studying you have to do, and you have to catch up in that sense, which it stinks, to be quite honest. So the biggest advice I would give is, even if high school comes easy to you, take the time to study, because you're gonna train yourself to learn how to study for college.
Yeah, I think I'll kind of echo that thought, and the fact that, in high school, I didn't have much for time management, because I just thought, I have a lot going on, but I'll just sleep a few hours less. And it gets down to a point where there aren't less hours to sleep when you're in college. You have, like, I'll stay up all night, and then I just don't sleep for the rest of the day. So I think time management in that aspect, which I'm still not good at, and it'll take me a long time before I am, but it is very important in figuring out how to approach your college life, and how you're going to, view the next 4 years and what you're going to do over all of it, because it's very, very important to, manage your time like that. And the second part of it would be know kind of how to root yourself, either in something at school if that's what you need, or a way to maintain your roots at home, because that's very important. And that was probably the hardest part for me during the first few months of college. I didn't really know how to pull myself back to it, but then I thought, if you can keep yourself familiarized with what you knew at home and then still adjust to college, then it's a great way to adapt to the changing atmosphere.
Well, thank you both so much for coming on. This has been The Banter with Alex Bertsch. If you have any questions, comment on the video below or tweet me at Alex Bertsch. Thank you for listening, and have a great Thanksgiving.